Okay, I think we're live now. I think we're live. I hope we are. Hi, everyone. It's Gregor again. I was on earlier with Simon. So, yeah, but now we're here again. And tonight we are going to be speaking to Nicholas Chang. So let me add him. Yeah, but now we're here again. And tonight, Nicholas, can you mute your YouTube or whatever it is? Brilliant. Cool. You're on mute, though. Can you come off mute and say hello? On StreamYard. There we go. Hey, Nicholas, welcome.
It's echoing. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, if you've got the stream open, you'll need to close it. I think one or two technical difficulties. If you got YouTube or LinkedIn open, you'll need to close them or mute the tabs. No, I've got too many tabs open. Constantine, we start at 16 because when I click go live, it kind of doesn't really work out what's happening.
Okay.
Hey, there we go.
It's better now.
Welcome to the show, Nicholas. Hey.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's been a little busy, but surviving.
What's that? You're busy?
Yeah, a little bit busy, but I'm surviving.
Good. So tonight we're going to talk about your journey to the cloud. Starting as a career from Helpdesk to platform engineer, what you're currently doing. So tell us a little bit about your career and kind of college and uni, if you did these kind of things. Give us an introduction to what you've been up to.
Okay. How far do you want me to go? So I'm just thinking.
Well, did you go to college or uni, or did you just?
Yeah. So when I'm kind of like let's say I was an immigrant, so I came from a country called Jamaica in the Caribbean.
Yep.
In 2001, went to college. I went there for 2 years from high school, went to college, went to university, and I did my forensic computing, and I had a change of career, a change of in my second years, and I did computing science, and I kind of found that interested, and then I took that as I managed to get a first job as an IT support technician. So in IT support technician, I worked my way up to like second line within in a different company. So several years within different companies, and it's only doing one.
What kind of things were you learning when you were being an IT technician? What kind of stuff were you working with?
So majority of them will be on site, like whether it's helping the server rack, whether it's helping users with any like technical issues like on the server Azure AD, or anything with any internal server. So any like custom server or anything. Yeah. So I spent few years on like in IT doing like first line, second line, and then I kind of like, it's only when during the pandemic, like a few years in the pandemic, I kind of wanted, when I was doing a help desk role, and I wanted to like more of a challenging career, and then that's when I thought to myself to find out, like I wanted a change of career, and had DevOps was already like big in the market, and then I found out something about like Cloud Skills IO. So and because they were like on everywhere, so they were on like YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere, and I kind of like was there involved. I took some of the courses there, and I kind of found kind of interesting and in love with the kind of like my 5 for Tim Warner. So like every time I will be like going up to the courses and do those things, and it's when I spent some time doing that during the pandemic when I was doing classes IO training. I did my first AZ 900, the Azure
Oh yeah.
fundamentals,
Mm-hmm.
and then I kind of do the AZ 104 and then do the AZ 400 while I kind of were trying to motivate myself by looking at, like, whenever it's doing any projects and stuff, like if anyone want to be more involved in the cloud, I would suggest would just be more like hands-on, Bruce, what Simon said earlier. But
Yeah. So
if
you're
people
trying to.
don't know, if anyone don't know like how to get started, like be hands-on, you can still, for example, follow like a cloud guru. That's how we get started.
Right.
So
Okay.
whether it's so whether it's actually following a project in a cloud guru, because I normally
Mm-hmm.
do it like there's a popular project called Cloud Resume by Gwen. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
she and Richie, no, they created it. Gwen was created it, and it's something to do with how you can use different like Azure services and then those things as well. So I do that one, and then I kind of doing, and I was learning some Terraform that time, and I kind of was searching around about some bugs that have my Terraform skills, and then that's when I met Thomas. You know,
Mr.
so
Thornton.
I met
Big.
Thomas from I met Thomas from kind of LinkedIn something or Twitter, and then when it was one of his blog that helped me, and it just said, I was say hey, and then he kind of get me kind of involved, like tell me more about like the job opportunity, like his workplace, and I asked him about how does he get started when he moved from as a support engineer to where he was now, because he's not actually a technical specialist. So I asked him about his journey and stuff, and then that's where he introduced me to like Kainos, where I'm currently working.
Brilliant. Cool.
Yeah.
So to summarize, see when you were doing the cloudskills.io, were you
Yeah.
doing hands-on at that time, or were you just watching these courses?
I was watching and doing hands-on because it's more
Okay.
it's like every Thursday they do like boot camp stuff. So it's like AZ 400 boot camp, 104 boot camp and stuff. And I was watching it. I was doing like labs with Mike Pfeiffer, just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of he was very good with his workshop, and then I'm always like in like read up, like listening to his podcast. So that's quite me
Yeah.
motivated
Yeah.
as well. So yeah.
So you look up to these guys as for motivation. That's awesome.
Yeah, I look up to him. But then the thing that the person I look up to is pretty much, I would say everyone, because everyone's kind of part of my journey. So whether it's Thomas, whether it's yourself, or anyone help me. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't say there's one
One person.
mentor. Everyone could be a
Yeah.
mentor. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now, were you paying for cloud skills at that point yourself, or were work paying for it, or how did you
Uh,
start with that?
yeah, I pay for it. So I
Oh, really?
spent a bit, and then spent a bit on Azure. I use some Azure credits. Kind of over budget than I spent, but it's worth the pay.
Yeah.
No pain, no
Definitely worth it now.
gain. Yeah.
Yeah. So Matthew makes a really good point. It's great to see someone work their way from the bullpen of Helpdesk to
Yeah.
where you are now. So congratulations on that. That's no small feat. So well done to you. It's not easy getting out of Helpdesk and kind of learning skills
No,
like that.
yeah, because I would if someone wanted to get out of help desk, I would suggest they need to like come out the comfort zone, and like if they really, really want to be interested, like if they want to be AI, they kind of could actually learn it,
Mhm.
self-independent learn. Otherwise, they couldn't actually volunteer themselves, whether it's to a charity top or like a company, like if they want
Yep.
to, or like when I had no technical experience in IT before, I
Mhm.
have to volunteer myself in like Oxfam, the stuff and working there just to
Yep.
create websites and stuff, help with database admin. So it's just those productivity you have to be involved.
So to kind of summarize what you're saying there, you need to be someone who's got a bit of get up and go and a bit of like self motivation to do this kind of thing. Is that right?
Yeah, but then it's about what's your passion though, and then if
Yes.
you want, like for example, I'm always in IT. I was good in IT, but I don't know which part of IT. So it's only when I go into Cloud Skills IO, take that stuff, I kind of fell in love with Azure and thing. So
Same.
and then I knew that's the path I want to go.
Yeah, I did a similar journey actually. I was paying for my own courses while I was learning. I was working in a bank and we weren't doing Azure, and I was kind of doing the same as you. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's not cheap, but it's paid off in the long run, or it is paying
yeah,
off at the moment. So that's
yeah.
awesome.
Because it's the same like, but it's good thing now. My present workplace, my current workplace at Kainos, they offer free a cloud
Yeah.
guru course. But the only thing is that you have to be active. Activity has to be shown it, otherwise it will get cancelled, which is the same. I'm watching from Emmerdale. No,
Emerald
Emerald.
Isle. Brilliant. Yeah, so Tim Warner, where did you learn about Tim Warner from? So obviously Mike was doing cloud skills. Was it Tim on there as well?
Yeah, he sometimes do the workshop. So he did the
Yeah.
AZ400. He's come up and do some like some session as well with him, Mike.
Yeah. Brilliant. I wish Mike. I know Mike's not available at the moment. I don't think he's kind of offline, but hopefully he comes back and
Yeah,
starts
he
doing
created
something.
his after Cloud Skills. He created another learning platform. I can't remember. It's a different one.
Yeah.
It's in America. It's based in America as well, but it's still
Yeah.
quite good.
So up to now, how many certs have you done? How many Azure certs have you done? You've done quite a few.
So as it did AZ 900, AZ 104,
Okay.
Azure Security, and AZ 400, and then I were kind of persuaded to do AWS.
Yeah. Who by? Was that Thomas?
No. It wasn't Thomas, but it's my workplace. But I can't.
Okay.
It's okay. It's a good skills to learn, anyway.
Yeah.
And then I did the Terraform now, and then aside from that, I kind of was in more of a fell in love with like Microsoft Bootcamp Openhack. So I'm always there, like doing in office doing that, like do like Openhack, like serverless Openhack. It will be DevOps and stuff. So I really love how people do like hackathon and stuff. Openhack there. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no more Openhack. It's quite hard now in Microsoft because since Adam, that
yeah. So is that the end of Openhacks, or do you think there'll be more?
Sometimes they do online, but it's hard. But I don't see there's much online now at the moment.
So,
I want, like, for example, if future community events, I want them to go into that direction because where people learn, but it's quite hard to organize like Openhack like that way.
Yeah.
People learn it because you have to get coaches and stuff and internet issues and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. People don't realize that running hackathons are quite difficult.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot to it. Awesome. So, how did you start at Kainos? Did you learn of Thomas through Twitter or LinkedIn?
Yeah. So when Thomas told me about Kainos, when I asked Thomas on LinkedIn where he worked, because I saw that he worked at Kainos because he previously had a support background like myself, and I wanted to find out how he become like a technical specialist and stuff. So when I talked to him, and then he recommended me to like Kainos Platform Academy. So that's where people get with minimum experience, like only know the fundamental, and then we train them up. So when people like only know a little bit about Azure and stuff, we get them we train them up into AZ400, as in the fundamental of Azure, the fundamental of AWS, like in there, and then teach them Terraform, teach them a little bit of AKS as well, and some of the. But then they need to know the fundamental, like what is Gate and something, because the last time when I started, there's some few people that didn't know how to set up Gate on a computer, and then it kind of like take more time. So, and then we did that for 8 months, So I'm doing that actually not 8 months, sorry, 8 weeks, 8 or 7
Okay.
weeks. And then
Yep.
after the academy, we got put into projects. So my first project was public sector. So I'm not sure if I can name that now.
No,
Or
that's fine. Don't
yeah,
need to name
so
company names. Yep.
it's in the public sector because Kainos is a consultant company that
Mm-hmm.
provides solutions to like different businesses.
Yep.
Yeah, and they work with Amazon, AWS, and yeah.
And how
So
long have you been working there?
to be honest, it's not since last March. So
Okay.
it's like over a year.
Ah,
Yeah.
good. And are you enjoying it?
Yeah. So it's challenging. There's quite a lot of smart people, but it's a
That's what
lot
you
to
want,
learn.
though.
Yeah, because I've just recently joined a new project.
All right,
It's
good.
more about like when I mentioned to it, it's cloud native now. It's cloud
Mm-hmm.
native project,
Cool.
and then that's the reason why it would push me with my session in Expert Live.
Yep.
So
Yep.
and it's a lot to learn. So it's more Kubernetes focused, more GitOps focused. So
Awesome. No, that's good stuff.
yeah.
I mean, from going from Helpdesk to doing that kind of stuff, that's a big learning curve. So hats off to you.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
easy, but the point of this video is to help people in my position to get started because there's not
yeah.
people help. Some people could like stuck in help desk, don't know how to move their career, like more of a challenging career.
Awesome. What's your favourite thing about working at Kainos?
So, favorite thing about, I would say kind of the not the I would say the free food. I can't say so the free food, the people sometimes, and the
People.
socializing. So sometimes uh we get free food when we go in the office, like free lunch and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then every time there would be sometimes payday drinks, sometimes like parties and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
How often are you over there? Because are you based in Birmingham? Is that right?
yeah, Birmingham. So they have an office. Kainos is primarily based headquarters in Belfast, but they have an office in Birmingham as well in London. So I occasionally travel between London and Birmingham.
Yeah.
London? I didn't
I'm
say
just
loud.
laughing at your answer was quite funny. I was just laughing at that.
Yeah,
So they've got an
yeah,
office in London, did you say?
yeah. So occasionally I go to London when there's
Right.
some meetups, going like London DevOps meetup, and then occasionally just crash in the office and work there. But I don't sleep in the office.
So other than the people sometimes and the food, what else do you like about the company?
So I kind of like because it's more of a fast pace. You get to know, like for example, be involved with different projects.
Yeah.
So before my first project was it was a migration from AKS to App Service, and then second project was Jenkins to GitHub Actions. I know this
Oh, Jenkins.
stuff. Yeah, so it's
Nice.
I would say to be more involved with different projects and learn about new technologies because it's not everywhere that you can learn about the cutting edge technology, like more of a GitOps, more of
So
a, like a technology that is out.
you're
That
what
is
I would call
already
you're what I would call a learn it all. You don't mind what you're learning as long as you're learning something, which is awesome. Yeah, I kind of like these kind of people.
Yeah, but
Not
sometimes
not afraid to learn
it's too
anything.
much. Sometimes too much.
Yeah, well,
Like if your company like wants you to do something because it's good company, like for example, help with landing zone and stuff. Like
yeah,
someone volunteering with the AI accelerator,
yeah,
even though they know that I'm interested, but I'm already have something planned already for the company, different like project stuff,
yeah.
volunteering, like, different work day. I don't want to overload myself, so it's still good to be more productive where you
Yeah,
work and stuff, but you have to know when to stop and because
yeah.
you have
So
your own
when I
time.
was when I was at JP Morgan, they had this concept of a T-shaped developer, right? So the idea
Yeah,
is you're broad, so you've got skills in quite a lot of things, and you go
yeah,
deep in one, so it looks like a T. So like,
yeah,
so my example would be like I maybe like Azure DevOps, but I like all of Azure, but I like Azure DevOps, so I go deep in Azure
yeah,
DevOps. So that's quite an interesting thing that they used to do. They used to choose people to be T-shaped developers or T-shaped Azure engineers is what they
yeah,
did there. And you would be deep in one thing and kind of Yeah, but as you said, it's very difficult to try and keep up to date with everyone. It's impossible. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but it's the same. Like since my current project is quite big, the scale of it,
Mhm.
the only the style of the project it's different because I'm used to agile. It's a Kanban style.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
then it's when I have to keep like pick up a ticket and then you don't know where to get started with it. Then because we have different, and then I have to ask like look at some SharePoint, look at GitHub, some like documentation.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I ask colleague because it's quite different ways. We just do the ticket, close it, and get to next one instead of actually refinements and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of a strange, but I kind of like it because in a way, since the current team I am, it just it's like a it's like a it's called blue squad thing. So
Okay.
we start in that one team, and then once you have more experience, then you can go to a different team, which
Oh,
would
cool.
be like solely like networking and stuff, but they don't dedicate, but they dedicate more of Azure, so anything latest stuff they can use and something like that, more focused on that with more improvements.
Interesting. Good.
Yeah, and they
So,
sometimes do like show and tell, like knowledge
well, that's good.
sessions, so that's quite good.
So, other than that, so do you like all that? But what's next for you? Is there any big plans you've got that you can share with us, or are you going to keep it quiet? Are
Uh,
you working on anything behind the scenes that you can tell us, or are you
uh,
working on something that you
yeah.
can't tell us?
So big plans is
Don't tell us
uh,
if you don't want to. If you're working on something, just say working on something, and
so the big plan is that I'm trying to be more involved in the community. So
Mhm.
my plan is to maybe create an event
Okay.
and maybe get more community involved, similar to
Cool,
it. So it
nice.
could potentially say meetup. It could just say me user
Okay,
group. Could
meetup,
potentially
podcast,
say
user group.
any
All right,
podcast.
nice.
I'm not saying which one I have.
Oh, that's fine. That's cool. As long as you're
Yeah.
doing that's good. Good. Is that going to be Birmingham, or is that going to be some?
So the idea is to get it. It's like similar to classical Azure user group. It will
Right,
be every 2 to 3 months because
right, cool.
the reason for that is that remote is easier, but people
Yeah,
have to be networked to see who they're actually talking to. So that's why it would be that.
yeah.
So
Look,
I'm currently doing that with someone you actually know. So I don't know,
nice,
probably he
nice.
might be reading.
No,
Someone
it's all
might be
good.
watching this video
We'll
and know
stop
this.
talking. We'll stop talking and move on. Right. So, Luke made a good point. He's talking about how people need to learn to network. So, I always tell people this story. But when my big sister was younger, she was very good at networking. She was
Yeah,
very good
but
at getting a job.
network is important, but there's not a lot of people, like for example, in conferences teaching about soft skills, like
Yeah,
how to presentation, how to actually do management and stuff things, because that's all that helps. It's only the networking stuff push you to the soft skills, which
yeah,
soft skills is more important for like business
totally.
going up the ladder.
Yeah, and what's weird for me is I used to be really shy, and now I'm not, and I don't know at what point that flipped, but I don't mind talking to people,
Yeah.
which is quite a good skill. But here's a good question from Luke for you: what motivates you to learn?
Uh, but we're happy.
Is it helping other people learn, or learning new technology, or fixing issues for people?
I
What do you
would
like doing?
say learning new technologies first, and then helping
Mhm.
people, and then fixing issues for that.
So
Yeah.
you talked earlier on about being enjoying hackathons. Do you ever see yourself like organising a hackathon and doing all that helping? Do you want to get to that point, or is that a little bit too much for
Uh,
you at the moment? Too busy with other stuff?
I could potentially do, but it will involve more coaches and stuff. It's quite hard because,
Yeah.
like what I discussed with you, when I did something like Microsoft Online, is some people have internet issues, something like that. So it's quite hard unless you
Uh-huh.
have like quite a lot like coach. That's like, for example, if we organize like Azure fundamental hackathon, like
Yeah.
anywhere, like in Glasgow, it will be like a small group of like 10 people to 20 people, and I have 3 coaches to help
Yep.
dedicated
Yep.
within 4 team and stuff. Yeah. So it's quite hard to organize. So
Okay.
I like the point of a hackathon because it's pretty much like helping. someone learn like projects. So whether we do a project and someone go through it, because you give people a project to do, they might get stuck on, don't know how to do, how to don't get started. So the point of the coach is to guide them.
Yep. So earlier on when Simon was on, I asked him, does he have a North Star? So a North Star is something that Mike Pfeiffer introduced when I was talking to him at some point. He says, "What's your North Star?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Don't have one." Do you have one, or have you got one in mind? Or
I don't really have one really, but
what's your ambition at the moment? Do you want to become an architect? Do you want to become an engineer, or what's your long
maybe
term
be like technical specialist, but
technical specialist?
if it's solution architect, it would be. But I want more hands-on. I don't want go more of the management stuff. So so if it's more of a technical specialist.
And career-wise, is that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, or are you just enjoying what you're doing and you'll see what happens?
I would enjoy it, see how it goes
See what
first.
happens.
But I would prefer like Azure.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And what are you working towards at the moment? Are you working towards anything in particular at the moment? You got any goals in mind right now that you're kind of doing?
So I have quite a few goals. So
good. No, I mean you don't need to share them. It's fine.
But some of them will be like project related goals. Some of them will be something like doing more community involvement and stuff. So speaking more in conferences, getting more like meeting more people and stuff. And then so other one where I give myself is like doing maybe the GitHub certification stuff. That's if I have
cool.
time.
So that leads me on to my next question. You've been doing quite a lot of user group community stuff of late. How have you found it? Are you enjoying it? And how's it been so far? You've been doing quite a lot of talks and podcasts and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so when I get my first time when doing it's online, and I kind of was nervous, but then the thing is, more of you do it, more you get like addicted to it, and it's the same like speaking to it. Like when I was talking at Global Azure, and then I think someone said it's not your first time. It doesn't seem like your first talk, and then they don't believe me. And then when they didn't want leads, they don't think it's my second talk. So because you're more talkative than shy person. So even though it's your second talk in person, so yeah.
And have you been practicing
so far?
Do you practice these talks, or do you just like write the talk and then go and give it? What's your kind of way of doing stuff?
To be honest, I only get one person to read, like for the Global Azure. I only get some, like for example, I get people to check my presentation sometimes. So whether it's and then check the slides if it's okay. And one of them I kind of practice it in a way, but I naturally do a full run of it, like when I was doing it with you. But sometimes it's better just go with the flow and then be engaged with them. So after a few minutes talking, you feel like you're more talkative than being shy, because like before when you told me off the screen, I kind of was nervous, but then I'm more talking to you now. So it's kind of
once you get going, I always say the minute you lose the nerves, it's time to give up. But everyone should be nervous because that means you care.
Yeah,
I think you're nervous about making a fool of yourself and nervous about everything going well.
Yeah, because I think
having a good talk.
When I was at university or so, I kind of got really nervous doing like group presentation stuff. So I was kind of want people to come with me and stuff and do loads of practice. But since I'm more involved doing it my own stuff, it's just helped me get to my comfort zone sometimes.
Good. That was Mert was saying it was me who didn't believe. So Mert was saying it was him who didn't believe you.
Yeah.
So do you find your confidence levels has went up a little bit, doing more and more? Is it getting easier, or is it still hard?
It's getting easy, but then it's just practice still pretty much. It's still like driving a car. You still have to keep driving it.
Everyone I've spoken to, apart from Dwayne, is like, I'm really nervous. And I'm like, once you start talking after 2 minutes, I mean, I'm actually really nervous the minute I start these things, but once you're in the flow, it just seems to be a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's the same like driving a car. Once you drive it, you keep driving it until you get used to it over time.
the nerves should never go away. If the nerves go away, then I think you're probably time to give it up because I think
but I
everyone
think
gets nervous.
someone told me that the reason, I'm not sure if I should bring this up, that they start Microsoft Ignite. The reason why they stopped doing it is because Satya, I cannot pronounce his name properly, is kind of nervous in stage and didn't want to do presentation, and always nervous in big stage. Then that's why they stopped doing Microsoft, the big one.
Okay,
I'm not sure whether that's true or not. So
yeah, I don't know. Couple of questions here, so let's go to them just now. Luke has a question for you. Oh no, we've done that one.
oh yeah, we did that.
It was the one below that. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. Have you ever considered going for MCT? For people who don't know what MCT
yeah,
is,
I
Microsoft
would
Certified
consider
Trainer,
going MCT.
which
So I might
yeah,
consider it maybe next year or so. So
okay. Yeah, so it's worth doing. For people who don't know what that is, basically the idea behind it is you give training courses by Microsoft to either companies or internally to people, and you maybe do like the AZ900, and you would train people doing that. So if you do a number of them, you can become an MCT and Microsoft certified trainer.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
recommend it because it's good because you get access to all the materials.
yeah, you get to do you need to do the like instrumental course as well.
Yeah, there's
And
a course now. Yeah,
yeah,
for a while you didn't need to do that, but you definitely need to do that now.
yeah,
Yeah. So Constantine's saying MCT is fun and good memes. You can even learn to do some NDA things. Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
NDA stuff.
Okay.
And you also get to do some like beta exam. So when it was new exam, you get to do that. So it's quite a good thing about that.
Have you done any beta exams?
No, I
No,
would like
no.
to do some. Yeah.
They're interesting because usually when you do them, there's no study notes, so you've got to like just wing it because unless you've been doing the private preview and public preview, you're guessing most of the time.
So it's pretty much your knowledge. Then you can't study. You just
Yeah, you need to.
knowledge.
Usually, when it comes out, there's no docs. There's like hardly any docs out, and you're just winging it. So
Yeah.
are you taking part in things like Azure Back to School or anything like that? Have you got your name down for that?
Yes,
Good.
kind of too much. So I'm not sure if I'm saying this to everyone can hear. So I'm next 2 weeks now from here. I'm doing a session in called user group. Demeric.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing that on GitHub, like GitHub action stuff. So, and then I'm kind of doing some preparation for back to school, and
Good.
then Scottish Summit, which, and then which would be, and then Expert Live. Yeah.
Yeah, let me dig out the Azure Back to School thing actually because Dwayne was on talking to me on Monday about this. So if people don't know what it is, let me just put in the chat.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's my first time doing Azure back to school. So
Oh, good, awesome. So you can go to the Sessionize page, and anyone who takes part in Azure Back to School gets to. If you put a session in, you get accepted. So if anyone's wanting to do things for the first time or get started, but most of the people in here are kind of done quite a few. So yeah, I've still to sign up, so I'll need to sign up. I think it's the call for speakers is open until the end of this month, so we've got like 18 days or something like that, 19, 17 days left. So good that you're taking part. I just thought I would ask. Any advice for people wanting to get started in the cloud? Would you say your journey was a good way of doing it? The way you went about it was a good way?
I would say don't do it like me, because
No, why not?
no, not everything like me, because I kind of like in what way, as in you'll be more addicted to it, as in you'll be staying up like 4 a.m. in the morning to fix some stuff, like do in that way. But do it in a way of
I wanted to ask you something because
I'm talking like Terraform and stay up in 3 a.m. just to fix something, or with doing something regarding some home server and stuff. And yeah, so in that way, don't be like me. So the tips that I'll give people that getting started is be more proactive, follow your passion, and need to do some learning. So whether it's self-learn, like people don't know, like some people message me saying that I don't know how to get started and stuff, and then I give them some links, try to guide them, but yeah, it's still the same. So, and then if people don't know, like want to be more hands-on with it, so need to volunteer themselves to tell the people, like fix people, like volunteer the service, like what similar what Mike Pfeiffer does, volunteer the
Yeah,
service to companies, do it for free, and then eventually build up experience from that. Otherwise, you can just do like kind of get user credits, Azure credits, or not over watch your budget as well. Don't over budget
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's interesting because speaking to people who do this kind of stuff, do courses and all that, the most successful and most watched courses and things that I read are all beginner guides to anything. So
yeah,
all the Azure fundamentals courses are always much more viewed than like AZ 400 and stuff like that. People
yeah.
still want to do 400 and 700, but the getting started ones are by far the most popular. Right, so September, you're speaking at Experts Live. Tell us about that.
Uh,
What
yeah.
are you speaking about?
So this all started because I think it's neither Richard or someone persuaded me, and then they
Persuaded
kind
you?
of, yeah. But then it's kind of good way because they said they will help me, but I don't think. So I kind of use it as a goal.
Uh-huh.
So all my session I use as a goal to get up to there, something
Yep.
like that. So yeah, I'm speaking on something about getting started Kubernetes in Azure.
Nice.
So I use some tips that from watching like Richard and stuff, like
Cool.
community stuff. So I bring it all at once. So
So when are you starting to prepare for that? Are you doing it now, or have you started yet, or are you still
I
thinking about what you're going
started,
to do?
so my idea is to keep my calendar free for August and September because it start middle of September. So don't
Yeah.
do anything aside from the Scottish Summit stuff, and then
Right.
do that. I've started doing a little draft of it, so it
Okay.
should be okay.
Any plans to give it a dry run anywhere before you go to Express Live? Have you thought about maybe doing that?
Yeah, I'm planning to do that with Richard. So
Oh, good.
I'm
Good.
gonna once I get the slide down, I'll send it to him to have a look at, and then make sure I do a dry run with him. And then I'm planning to do some like quiz and stuff. So as well,
Nice.
it should
That'll
be
be good.
for a year. It's like an hour, so it should be okay.
Yeah, that'll
Plus,
be fine.
he said I can wear my shoe because I bought a like glowy shoe.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
saw
he
people
said
talk
I
about that
wear
on
my
Twitter.
shoe. But she said, would I be more? Would I be the more of a attention seeker in my in my in my
In your talk?
conference? And said, why not? She'll wear
Yeah, so
that.
So for people who don't know, yeah, Simon's going to be dressed as a dinosaur, and you're going to have flashy shoes on, trainers that light up. So this is going to be awesome. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely the place to dress up as a dinosaur and have fancy shoes on. Honestly, it's my favorite conference, other
yeah.
than Ignite, because Ignite's massive. This is an amazing conference.
Yeah,
So
it's
we'll talk
more
about
of a community one. So what Ignite is more of a business one. That's what I think.
yeah, Experts Live in Prague. We're talking about so Experts Live Europe. Right. Okay. Any other user groups lined up? You've got the .NET Limerick one. Anything else lined up?
So that one, that's the only user group at moment, and then I would have the Scottish Summit, which is the other week, and then back to school. Yeah, and then I would have what else? No, and the expert live. So I'm trying to not maybe it's not. I'm trying to not line too much at once, and
Yeah,
then
no, don't
yeah, there's
overdo it.
always
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the DevOps and stuff. So I'm trying to focus on those first. So
Yeah, it's difficult when you're trying to learn as well as do talks
yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah.
just try not burn yourself out. Yeah, yeah. So, was it you we've got to thank for getting Simon into a dinosaur costume? Is that right? Tell us what
Yeah,
happened to that.
because I think he wanted more. I think he talked a bit about the dressing up, doing more of like I think
Mm-hmm.
be want a costume or you and him. I think Wesley was talking about dancing and stuff. I said,
Yeah.
why don't you do this as a dancing
So,
away costume with dinosaurs because it's more of a like more fun. So even
so you're
though
going to have the light up shoes on, is that right? You're going to wear the shoes?
kind of because it's meant to be for the nighttime, but for the gigs as well. But it's why not just wear it when you do your talk as well? I'm not too
Yeah. Well,
it's for fun anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I went to a talk at Express Live in 2019 where Sam Erskine was doing his talk while doing press ups.
Oh,
So
really? Wow.
you've got plenty of competition. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's wow.
He's that good. He was doing it with press ups. Anyway, out with work. Obviously, one thing I do want to pick you up on is every time
Yeah.
I message you at 2 or 3 in the morning, you're wide awake. Is this you? Are you still learning, or do you actually ever sleep?
I do sleep sometimes.
Sometimes,
Sometimes
but not
like
very
I start
often.
to zone out. Yeah. So
You
I
need to try and
try
get better
to
at
zone out like whenever I can and not stay focused. Yeah, like
that.
doing like watching courses or doing it like playing with Azure and stuff. Because even though I still get like free credits from like work and stuff. Yeah. I was trying to not be like burnout, what my like Thomas wants to say.
Yeah, no, you need to be careful
Walking
about
through
burnout.
Dinosaurs and
Yeah.
see flashing shoes.
And Michael's going to come just to see these shoes. And so, me
Yeah,
too. I mean,
why
honestly,
does
I can't wait.
you get to go free? I can
Yeah.
sign your shoe as well.
Yeah, you could make him a guest speaker. So, Luke's saying Rick Claus is his signature hat. You've now got shoes, and we've got a dancing dino as well, so he can make an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should absolutely come. I highly recommend it. Prague's beautiful. The venue's awesome. There's about
Yeah.
400 people, so it's not enormous, but it's just a nice size, and everybody's really good.
Yeah,
Um,
because I think it's even that guy. I can't remember his name. Can't remember his name. He's from Microsoft. He recommended me like he told me to go like give me more persuasion to do my talk as well because you know that you network more in Expert Live.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good people go. I actually was really lucky. I bumped into Isadora, who runs it and organises it,
Yeah.
and Thomas in Ignite 2019, and they're like, "What are you doing next week?" And I was like, "Recovering." And they're like, "Well, why don't you come to Experts Live?" And they gave me a
Yeah.
ticket, so I managed to get to go to that, and so that was brilliant. And I had never been to Prague, and just went on my own, and it was amazing. And then I bumped into Kenny, and then you
Yeah.
end up bumping into all these people and then networking that way. So yeah, awesome. So, other than doing lots of studying and not sleeping, do you have any hobbies? How do you relax? Because you strike me as the kind
Uh,
of person that doesn't.
I do relax, so I tend to relax a lot. Kind of.
What do you do to
No.
relax?
Geek away.
No,
So
it doesn't matter. I mean,
okay,
as long as you're not
so
sitting in front of a computer the whole time.
no, okay, so okay, without like technology, I would relax, need to like spend time with family, go to the gym, go for
Right.
walk, like yeah. So I like
Good.
whether always go to town, go to more of like walk around or go to gym. So
Any
I
hobbies?
kind of like
Is it
traveling as well. So traveling is quite my big hobby and stuff.
traveling?
So yeah, I went. So a few months ago, I went to Poland.
Oh,
Actually,
nice. I've been to
yeah,
Poland.
no,
Where did you go
no,
in
like
Poland?
not Poland, as in Valencia in Spain for a
Ah, sorry.
wedding.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I came back, and then a few months ago, I went to China and stuff.
Ah,
One
okay.
friend.
Do you play the piano? That's what Luke wants to know if you play the piano behind you.
That's not my piano, actually.
Yeah, he's like,
Wallpaper, but it's quite good. I got guitar though, but I still
oh,
need
have
to
you?
practice that.
How good are you
Yeah,
the guitar?
but I haven't touched it for a while because I think when I went university, I had like some roommates that's always like into guitar, and then I bought a guitar for them to actually teach me, and I always in the nighttime they teach me some guitar, so like fundamental stuff. Yeah, I haven't practiced for a while. Yeah.
Because you're too busy doing learning stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, learning stuff plus studying, and so it's quite a bit. So I'm trying to not be overwhelmed with everything, like what Thomas said. Don't get like
Yeah.
burned out. Plus, sometimes I just when I'm not studying, I just put on podcasts. So whether it's go on Cloud Skills FM and then go on, it's walking in and starting playing the piano.
Whereas Thomas, he should have been on so we could say hello to him, but
He's
he's
probably going
obviously
to sleep.
he's probably in the gym or something.
Yeah, he probably go to gym in the morning, but yeah, he doesn't really he doesn't do this stuff in the nighttime. He's
Fair enough. Yeah. He's got a life. He's got a life
persuade
unlike
him
us.
to come with me. When I did the session with Clark come with us, and that was like midnight.
Uh-huh.
So, oh god, we should have made
Forgot
this
he doesn't do midnight.
because it's like 11:30 because it's
Well,
Canadian time.
past his bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with Thomas at the MVP summit. I spent like every day with him. He's a top guy. Yeah, it was good fun. We did a lot of walking about and then just sightseeing together. So that was awesome. Any ambitions to be an MVP? Do you think that'll be something that you might get as part of doing all of your?
To be honest, I don't really mind if I'm getting it or not, but
Yeah.
at least I'm like contributing, trying to like build up my soft skills. So it will be like good that I will get it. So it's not one of my goals.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. What about holidays? Have you got any holidays planned this year?
So not so much. Yeah, I think Richard wanted me to go to KubeCon, but then that's a bit much. So I would just take some holiday and just see what I can, because I might like want to save up look up for like a house. So I'm just gonna buy like a flat. So I might would see that. Otherwise, just take some holidays and just do some actually wherever it's going to traveling and stuff, because I was going to go traveling with some friends in Tokyo next year. Yeah.
All right. That's one place I'd really like to go. Have you been before?
It will be my first time in Tokyo because it's quite public, but it's the people and the atmosphere. There's more polite people as well, so it's quite cool.
I'm not sure why Luke's asking this. I must have missed something, but he's asking, does Birmingham have castles? Simon says yes, so I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm not Brummy. Remember, I'm not a Brummy.
Yeah.
I'm an immigrant. I came.
How long have you lived in Birmingham?
I've been up and down. So I went university in Staffordshire, Staffordshire, and then I went to London. I went to Sevenoaks, Kent, and then back to Birmingham. So I came back to Birmingham 2000 before the pandemic. So yeah, before the pandemic. Yeah.
Right, so I've got one last question for you. Are you going to take part in, and this is the question to everybody in the chat, are you all taking part in the Festive Tech Calendar coming up this year?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I saw something about a conference in German, but then the things I'll rather do the Festive Tech Calendar because it would be too much in German.
Right, don't overdo it.
Yeah, I know.
Nicholas, it's been awesome chatting to you. So let me just put up one or two banners of your stuff so people can get in touch with you. Let's show your blog. So this is your blog, first of all. So you can have a read it. How often do you blog?
Once a while, but I'm trying to blog more. But
you're trying not to overdo it, but I'm asking you about blogging. So you can reach Nicholas on Twitter here, and you can get him on LinkedIn here. And if you want to see all of his links, you can go to his linkfree.io, which will show you all his links. If anyone's got any last questions, feel free to ask now. So Luke's wondering where Birmingham is, and it's 2 hours 37 minutes from Stonehenge. That's very precise. And he's also saying
but it's between Manchester and Coventry, you would say.
Okay, for someone from New Zealand, that's probably like, what? He's from New Zealand.
Oh yeah, he won't know. Okay,
he's like
Midlands. He won't know.
Like, I'll have to include that. Well, I see, to be honest, I'm going to say a bad thing here, but
London's easier.
Look, if you're visiting UK, skip Birmingham.
Just go to London. I'll go to London.
Skip the Midlands as well.
The Midlands.
Yeah. Thanks for so basically Mike's saying awesome chat. Thanks everyone. Good to hear your story, Nick. Yeah, it's an awesome story. You should blog that as well. Start blogging your story. There's a thing to blog about.
Yeah.
Right. Luke's been looking on Google Maps, so now he knows wherever we're talking.
I see in Google Maps.
Right, okay. So I don't think I've got any other questions. I don't think anyone's got other questions. Thank you for coming on and thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just going to say cheerio. So thanks everyone. I'll play a little video and then that'll be the end of the doodah. Right, thank you. I'll just play this little thank you.